the cutest little gummy bears. I've never seen one so small.
They're not overpowering.
Girl, you need that hair body you got going on.
What?
You need that hair body.
All I did was brush it today. But thank you.
Okay. So we have some people out sick today. Emily is not sick, but her child. Oh, and Kellis is Kellis.
Well, this is on, but she's not, like she's not updating to Alice, so she can.
Oh, okay.
But we can't. hear her.
Okay, okay. So Kellis is an art instructor, so she kind of teaches and does the meetings at 3. And then Nancy.
Yes.
Alice is multitasking.
Yeah, I know. Pretty impressive.
Official. I'm prepared to take
Yeah.
pieces.
There's a high risk with that. You gotta remember which conversation you're gonna get.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
That's
So amazing. So you don't mind.
Oh, Kellis is on there, okay. Just let me know when we're recording.
We are.
We are recording. Okay, then I am gonna call the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. So glad to have Roxanne here. So I thought we would do introductions. And you just go around the room and just say anything you want to say.
Hi, Patty.
just for you.
And then we'll go on. So do you want to start with the roll? We'll just go around this way.
I'm Earl, we've already talked. Nice to meet you.
Like anything you want to, you know.
We've already
interesting
been
fact.
conversing.
Okay. Enough of that. Or you can introduce yourself. of
I'm
course.
Roxanne. So I'm the new Parks, Recreation and Community Services Director. Been here 3 months already and knee deep into legacy plan and learning everything and already enjoying and appreciating everything that you guys have been contributing. So thank you for letting me jump in and join you today.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, I am Susan Warner. My title is Curator of Education and Legacy Projects at the Museum of Glass, where I have worked for the past 25 years on and off.
I was gonna say.
I spent 5 years at Lake Walt Gardens.
Mm.
Yes, yes. It was exactly, and then I had to go back.
It's working for assistant, you already know me.
And let's pop up to Shauna, then Amy.
Hello, I'm Shauna Alexander, resident of Lakewood. I also work here. You can't hear me?
They were busy bees this week.
Did you guys hear me?
Super fun. Okay. I love it.
Do you want me to go again?
Oh, there you are. Yep, sorry, we couldn't hear you.
It's okay. So Shauna Alexander, resident of Lakewood. I also work in Lakewood. I enjoy serving on the Arts Commission.
Oh, you
Okay.
froze. You froze. We got your name. That was about it.
You want me to try again? All right, so Shauna Alexander, resident of Lakewood, and I also work in Lakewood, and I enjoy serving on the Arts Commission.
Amy.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. My name's Adi Kleckner. I'm an associate professor at Pierce in English and Humanities, and I live and work in Lakewood as well.
And a big shout out to AD for the beloved community quilt, which I rolled in. So AD led this project at the MLK event and got it all sewn together, all the patchwork, and Really
That's
appreciate you.
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
The back has handprints.
Yeah.
She just took it and ran with it. Thank you.
Humanities and.
Tell us, you want to quickly introduce yourself to Roxanne?
Hi, my name is Callis Paulette. I'm kind of multitasking with my teaching my students. And I have 50 students in my art studio, and then I everyday teach. And then like a weekend, I do APCC Jada Choi Gallery, and I'm a curator there. And I'm curating multi other art associations, like 5 of them. And then I go to part-time for the APCC Jada Choi Gallery as well. So and then also I start for a lot of arts, events and activities and all kind of.
It's
So
all
I
things.
hope the whole thing all about the art. And thank you.
Mhm.
Daryl?
Very nice.
That was sure a tough act to follow.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Daryl. I'm almost a lifelong resident of Lakewood. Moved here when I was 8. Went to school in Clover Park School District. Went to Pierce College when it was Fort Steilacoom Community College.
Oh, wow.
And I currently teach at Clover Park Technical College. I teach graphics. And I've been on the Arts Commission, I think, almost 6 years. Maybe.
I didn't know it was Port Silicon Community College. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We called it Fort State Cool.
You were there, right? Yeah, knew it.
You call Sylvie?
Hi, I'm Sylvia Estrella, and I am self-employed, Blue Scooter Media. I've been on the Arts Commission for 5 years, I think. Probably. And I really enjoy it. On some other committees as well, the Fiesta Committee and the MLK Committee.
And they're excellent videographer and photographer, the both of them, that neither one of them
Not him.
said.
No,
So that's a good little multimedia. Yeah.
I had one time on
So-
the trip.
They finished that part of what their talents.
Although at the
Yeah.
gala, he was like,
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing? Stay in your lane.
I love that. That's so funny.
I remember the time Daryl introduced me to you. Remember that when you were gonna do a video for us for MLK?
We were on the street. Do you remember that? You were walking back to the office.
Oh, yes, and then
That
we
was
met
very-
again in here, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so wild. And then, of course, Sylvie did the beautiful coin that's now
Yes.
potentially
That was beautiful.
morphing into logos.
Mhm, yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Lonnie.
Yeah, all right, Lonnie Neal. Chose to live here in Lakewood over 30 years ago, raised my kids here. I met Sally doing yoga a zillion moons ago. She knew my background is in design. I'm an industrial designer. That's my professional training. And I don't know when I joined.
I don't
the
even
Arts
think I knew
Commission.
that. I just
I
knew
mean,
your
well,
personality.
us three, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you were like.
Yeah,
you were like 1 or 2 years.
7 or 8 years I've been on the Arts Commission and I love it.
Been a long
I
time.
love it, love it, love it. So.
We all know Patty.
I started on the Arts Commission, usually with Earl. We started at the same time.
Mhm.
Yes,
I think that's,
yes,
was it
Yeah.
you, do we start at the same time too?
just about the same.
Yeah, because we started the summer concerts
Mhm.
stuff.
Yes.
So, and I love that you
Right.
have a whole company that. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, thank God. It's a lot. So, and it's grown and everything. It's just been so wonderful to see how this Arts Commission has grown and blossomed and is phenomenal and is definitely turning into a leader in the community of stuff that we do. And there, besides events, I could talk to a million things, but the art that's around the city that's happening is so wonderful. So I love, love, love that. I always will advocate for that. And all of our festivals and community events and how the engagement is there and just people talk about it and people look forward to these things every year. I already hear people talking about the farmer's market, it's the concerts. I've heard, oh yeah, I heard Summerfest is in August now. Like the word is out. So the stuff that this commission puts out is incredible. I'm very proud of them and what they do. So, and just, I personally love all of the art and all that stuff in the city. So
And you're an artist.
I am closet now. Because nobody knows that about me. Yeah, so yeah, that's where I had a fine arts degree, which doesn't really seem to line up with what I do, but it does. So
I
And
would say
we,
those have that creative brain are better at something else.
The one thing I need to add into that is that we're such a cohesive group because of the leadership here at the city of Lakewood. Without the Sallys, without every Nikki's and,
Mhm.
you know, all these different people that work for the city and Lonnie.
Oh, yeah, Lonnie.
And Patty. And Patty. We're able to get a lot done and we feel pretty free to explore and to just use our own creative license or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever to be able to get things done. So I don't know of any other city that allows that.
You're very supported. They're very supported. So I love that. And everything that this committee has really, you guys have shown so much that, you know, progress and things get done. So I think that's another reason that council is always like, oh yeah, okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah. 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 It's very cool.
and we appreciate you so much,
Oh,
and your guidance,
Thank
and
you.
pulling us along.
I'm glad we're talking about this thing because somebody asked me about it too. So I was like, oh, I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah.
So to start things off, we'll just do formalities, which is approval of the minute. So, can I please get approval of the minutes for last month, February 9th?
I approve.
And a second.
I second.
Okay, wonderful. And then we're going to skip right to Roxanne to present on the 30th anniversary logo concept.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for letting us jump in, but when you have such a talented, creative, committed group, it was like, you know, one of the things I love that are moved by inspiration and you're right, Sally's so good. It's not, we're just not just creating events, right? We're really creating experiences. So there are some packets and I think the group is small enough that there should be enough for each one. And Nick, if you just want to jump right to the 6th slide and it says creative brief up top. I mean, the main thing is that it's the 30th year. And, you know, I walked into a great charge to help us celebrate that. So we're, you know, a little behind in that ideally all this stuff would have been worked out last year, but we're really looking at, you know, really celebrating all throughout the year. And there's already been a council proclamation that happened in February, which is the month of the anniversary of incorporation. But looking at the street festival, I'm looking towards Summerfest and the holiday parade and just ways that throughout the year we can all celebrate together. And because of that, a cohesive look was desired, something that could be a badge that goes along with some email signatures, the banners, to being added to the flyers for a particular event. So people are used to seeing that event, but something that would show that all these pieces are tied together. So the creative brief, just to briefly touch on, is a little bit more, as I shared, the role and where we might use this particular logo, but a big part of it was also at 30 years. The concept that's emerged is deep roots. And, you know, if you planted a tree 30 years ago, it'd be getting to that place in its life cycle, but the roots were starting to be deep enough that it could then really flourish and grow and become that more stately tree, right? So that's part of the inspiration. The other thing in the package using that deep roots was the actual proclamation that the city council members signed that really built kind of off that overall theme. So in order to launch into this and do this campaign well, Hemisphere, who has the graphic and marketing contract with the city was asked to give us some designs that we could vet with this group and a few others in order to bring a recommendation and proposal for which ones we should really embed and use throughout the year. So with that said, there are 4 designs in here and a little slip of paper for your individual voting of which one you prefer. And why? Because if we end up taking some elements of one to the other. Briefly, option 1, which you're seeing there, clearly identifies the city of Lakewood. It really is a play off of the current brand and logo so that people would right away think Lakewood in 30 years may be associated together. The second one is built really around the coin. And Sylvie, kudos to you, because I think people have loved that coin. They love what they saw. It was a big inspiration for even the deep roots and kind of recognizing that this is at that point in its history. So of course, all these will be refined. But that's what this really kind of shows, again, the 30 with that coin. Because the art, I think, was so amazing and what was created, and that's what's captivating people about the coin, is the leaf on back. And that was the original drawing that Sylvie had done. And so this one really looks at that 30 and just pops out more of the leaf and the acorn to give you a really good kind of look. Again, towards that mature tree look. And then the 4th one is probably the one that's most deeply ingrained, maybe with the theme, and showing actually a full bone tree with the 30 really standing out. And then kind of the side by side gives you a way where it could look all by itself, but also there's other ways to, orient it and show the city of Lakewood with it. Assuming most flyers and everything will already have City of Lakewood on it in different places. It's really this badge or bug or whatever you like to call it that gets added to things that would stand out. So again, bringing it around for the experts and the people who know visual appeal and who know our community, and happy to answer any questions you have about it. But also know usually people, when you start turning, one captured your eye probably. And so,
and I also would say this team has so much experience with logos. So I would also love to hear kind of the pros and cons of each as you go through and look at these, what might work about it, what might not, what might pose a problem that the layperson wouldn't know.
you can think of functionality.
I'll take a stab. For options 2 and 3, is there a provision for the one color based on options 2 and 3? In other words, we have like a grayscale of 30 years or a grayscale of 30 city of Lakewood. Is there a one color or grayscale version of that proposed that we just didn't see?
They really need a vector of it, Daryl.
Yeah.
And they don't, and you can't do that with that coin without really changing it, making
Gonna
it
lose quite a bit of
Yeah,
detail.
it's too intricate.
Okay.
I made them a vector, but it was a simple
Yeah.
vector.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about reproduction with that, can you imagine it being embroidered, it being like all those things, not gonna work?
Okay, yeah, I was thinking primarily on stationery,
Good point.
or Xerox copies.
Yeah. I
Great
agree.
point. That often things do, while most things are produced in color, they often get reproduced by somebody.
And based on what you said, Patty, I would probably shy away from option 2. for that.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, we definitely got that represented in option 3. Okay.
I'm not a fan of the word years on everything. I think that screams at you.
Yeah.
Can we do 30th anniversary?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if it needs
It
it. I
might not
mean,
need
it's
Yeah, I don't think
30
it needs anything.
for sure in conjunction with the word City of Lakewood. That seems obvious to me.
Yeah.
If it's just 30 commensurate to them. That's
Well,
sort of
yeah,
like-
if the tree's just by itself on 30, like what's happening with it?
Right, but if it, as long as it's connected with.
City of
City.
Lakewood, yeah, then it would be okay.
So I noticed there's the theme of deep roots. I only see it branded on this first one. Is it,
And they were showing with and without. it.
yeah, but is the intent to label things with deep roots? I mean, that, like,
It's more,
how strong is that branding, I guess?
right, so it's the tone and the aspiration for it.
Okay.
But I think that is one of the questions kind of presented on one of them. They were
Is it being proposed,
explicit.
deep roots? Because I've never heard that tagline come across. So is it being just what Hemisphere proposed as a tagline
That's a
for the
hemisphere
Arts
thing.
Commission? Because
Okay.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah, so no, Hemisphere didn't propose it. It was more of a theme that went with the 30 that then tailored, I think, the proclamation that came before you and why some of that language was used. But a full kind of rollout before you is really kind of contingent on some of this feedback and comment.
Yeah.
He has a hand raised.
Yeah, we need to hear their votes verbally if they're willing or.
80, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it's the third one, the city of Lakewood isn't on there at all. I think which is a concern that like the name of the city isn't included. So I guess the question would be like, how would this fit in with the city, especially since it doesn't correspond to a previous logo that we've had besides the coin. I'm thinking of like the logo on the left-hand side with the mountain and the water. So that would be a question I would have is like how this would correspond with the name of the city. And then
So
go ahead.
80, I mean, just one thing, if you feel like there's, like, you like that look, but it's missing that, you could definitely still say 3, but it's got to say the name somewhere, like, so feel
Okay.
like there's aspects of, well, here's your preference, but how you believe it should be tailored, include that information.
Okay. The other thing I guess I would ask is for the first one, we have like tagline. We mentioned like the deep roots impact from the beginning. I think I don't really understand what impact from the beginning means in relation to deep roots. Like impact is is not a growing word necessarily. So I think I guess a question I would have would be like, is that tagline set in stone or is that something that's flexible as well?
Definitely flexible.
So
Yeah.
on design 3, I don't like the layout of it either. I don't like the years in there. But what if under 30, and I would change the 3. Not dynamic enough to go with the logo. 30, and then put Lakewood underneath, and then put 96 to 26. That way you're covering who it is and when it is.
Can you say that one more time just so I capture everything too?
So instead of doing. Cross out the years, put Lakewood where the years is, and then put the actual 96 to 26.
And you said something about the 30 itself.
I don't like, I think the 3, can we do better on this part, the 3? Is this Monster Rock or something? Are we trying to stay with Monster
I
Rock?
have a feeling that they pulled it from our
It is
brand.
Monster Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they should do an outline of it to make it a little more dynamic. What do you think, Patty?
I would encourage, I like the leaf thing. I think we could maybe find a way to incorporate that somehow. But I think you cannot take what we have here. I think it needs to be modified. I think the leaf that you did, I think it needs to be modified, probably like some thicker lines, definitely simplified. But that we can tell it's a leaf and the acorn, because there's way too much detail in there. But I think that a leaf and the acorn, something that resonates the tree coming across I think the community might like that than just seeing the logo in there with the 30. So I think that there is room to mess with the leaf a little bit and, make it more stylized, I guess, more of an icon so it will reproduce easier.
What if you fit
I
it
think
in,
they could, yeah.
in the zero, fit it in
Yeah.
the zero instead of
It
coming
could be.
out?
So just however they want to do that, but I think that if you tell them that they can have a little bit of artistic license with it to see how they can incorporate the leaf in with the 30. But then there needs to be City of Lakewood somewhere in there because you can't just have a 30 with the leaf. Those are,
Yeah, it could be City of
yeah,
Lakewood down here.
I don't know
without
however
years
they
thing.
would
Yeah,
wanna.
or like how it is on the first one.
And I think just reproduction, like, what if we do want to try something that's super intricate versus just print material or digital material? So that's why I said, if you simplify that, I love the leaf and the big one. And I do think it speaks to kind of the stuff that, especially the Arts Commission is doing between the coin. And then if we look at the roundabout stuff that we've been talking about too, I think it plays really well.
May I ask you a question really quick? So on this page with the primary logo, tell me a little bit more about the one with the color in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, I can't really, I think it's, and I don't know if they found that at some point because this really came directly out of
Make
the.
those sheets up like that to show people what
Like,
not to do.
It's a
Yeah.
branding guide.
just
Yeah,
part of
so
the
that's
guide.
why the X is there.
It's just part of what not to do and.
No, I mean, I kind of liked the interest of the colors kind of drew,
Yeah.
and I understand what not to do. I get that now that you're saying that, but also the added reflection of all the colors, to me, kind of represents a little bit about Lakewood. And because we have so many demographics in this area. And the tree, I think design number 4 is probably my favorite. And I was almost wondering if design number 4 could even have some of that same color scheme pattern. And to make it have a little bit more interest to the tree while representing all these different colors, within the tree. And to Patty's point with the embroidery, I mean, you can definitely simplify that to where it doesn't have to be, a billion tiny little squares.
You're thinking like with the tree, like how people would put like a photo, they would kind of be in the shape of the tree, but you would see the photo.
Yeah, like this
So,
tree,
yeah,
like the tree exactly like this, but with a whole bunch of different
That's what I'm
little,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, so like you could see a photo, you could see colors, you could see,
Yeah.
you would use any sort of pattern in there.
And if
needed
you
to.
did blow it up, you could use different photos within those
could.
color blocks.
One just, or a solid one or something, but you're keeping the shape of the tree. I understand, I get what you're saying.
But I like the shape of the tree.
I do like the
in
shape of the tree.
design number 4. I think it says a lot. It just has a lot of impact just in that one image. But yeah, I like design number 4.
Do you play golf?
No,
Oak Brook already used that.
what was that?
Oak Brook already uses that.
They do? That exact same thing?
The tree, why not, yeah.
Then we can't, it needs to be tree.
Well, then we can stylize it to be a little. No, but I don't play golf.
What were you saying?
I was going to say that I like design 4. And I like design 4 the best because when you look at the word language of the proclamation, it talks in several places about a tree. And
Yep.
then the logo makes it a visual tree. And if somebody else is using that particular design and shape, then we'll have to come up with something different that's along those lines.
With the added color
Yeah.
block.
Yes,
But I do love the tree,
yeah,
however it is,
Yes.
whether it's the tree or the leaf or the, I
yeah,
think that would be great. That speaks to everything you guys are working on too.
yeah, I think so.
I think if we go with the tree that, this is way too, it's not dynamic enough.
Well, we could make a dynamic tree.
The 30, well, Hemisphere is doing it.
Well, I'm wondering if that's their skill set, to fit, or if it's more of a cut and paste. That's what I'm seeing is more cut and paste from them. I don't know what their skill set is. with
Aren't they
creating more
hired to be the
dynamic.
designers?
They may be wanting us to give them an orientation.
Right.
And that's why they're providing probably examples of like something maybe cut and paste to kind of feel out which way
Right.
we want to go and then kind of hone in that.
They're giving us a full creative brief. So
Okay.
to me, They are the designers, they are the creative,
Yeah.
they're not at their, I mean, they want feedback, but they are, and we pay them
Mhm.
to be our graphic designers, so
Right,
my expectation would be is that this should be their full ideas.
yeah,
Okay.
then
Yeah.
they should have given us like finished.
Yep.
Not for us to choose from, like dynamic things for us to choose from, not for us to like, okay, we like this, but could you do this a little bit? No, that's their job. And I do branding. That's the job. You have to come with it. You have to come with it.
But you don't think they expect feedback from us?
They expect a little feedback, but
Yes.
it's gonna be way more than, they've got to bring way more than this.
Yes, yes, they
Where did
do.
feedback?
Yeah, this is very.
We want more.
It was a short runway, and I think the direction, because communications has been here a shorter amount of time than I
Yes.
have. In terms of what to really collect and use for it between the proclamation and then obviously the brand bite. And again, it's not that they want, this has to be tied to it, but I think that was some of the direction of
Yeah,
pulling that and looking, and because if it does complement something else that's an existing flyer or already been created, we know that that is going to be following the brand guide. So yeah, it does have some consistency, but again, in this particular case, it's not necessarily if you wanted to pop out right against the landscape of what's more standardized.
There's
Yeah,
too many
this is awesome.
subject matter experts in the.
Yeah. That's why they said me. They're like,
Really do. They are all.
that's why we're
well
the Arts
equipped.
Commission.
Very
Rub
well staffed up. They are. That's the whole point.
Collis, I'd love to hear from you, please.
Should I saw it?
I like the old you guys' idea, and I like the with the design that has a coin with a number with that, and then the color white is very beautifully, but with the trees with the letter with that. I saw kind of a lot of design like that before. So I think with the coin with the 30 years with that, I really love that one, for my opinion.
What page, what option are you referring to? Two, option two or option three?
Was it? Can I say again?
Yeah.
Yeah, just one second, I'll share it again.
Yeah, thank you. Where?
The coin.
That. Yeah, the with yes, that one. I like that one with the coin and 30.
And what did you think about the comments that were made about that in terms of it actually translating to documents and?
Embroidery is a very good one.
Yeah, right. I don't know that we're having anything embroidered. At least in this one.
Hats.
I think we're looking at, let's say we're gonna put this on totes, note cards, and other swag.
Yeah,
Real
yeah,
small.
yeah.
Real big.
If you take the health.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, I love all the
But are we saying that?
thoughts and the cards. I don't know. Like, well, I don't know. I like so any with the bottom note that like the other, can I see the other design before, like after like the with the little letter on the bottom.
Yeah.
You still got the other
I'm
one.
okay
Yeah.
with time. I just don't want
I'm
to-
sorry. Yeah, I like the black and white as well too. So I think that the color, it's the green, is way too much popping on me. Yeah, like 90. I don't know about the trees with yeah. Because when I was living in Florida in the South in Georgia, I saw a lot of trees like that. But Washington has a lot of evergreen trees.
Except in Lakewood, we're trying to focus on the Gary Oak,
Yeah.
since it's the official tree of Lakewood.
So if you go back
Okay.
to the coin, the coin one,
Uh-huh.
and you take out the, building a healthy, vibrant community, now you have the 30 there, but you have the oak leaves in the middle. And that looks pretty good, as long as you add City of Lakewood and then do the date. Or it would have to be a more simpler oak leaf, like, Patty was saying.
So just the inside of the coin,
Yeah.
and not the.
Not the building a healthy, vibrant community, but just the circle with the graphic within the circle. And then do City of Lakewood or just Lakewood and then do the date.
Yeah, we want to make sure that it translates to these different.
I'll just leave it. I feel like you guys have really good suggestions to give back to Hemisphere that they can modify and tweak and see, give you guys some more ideas, iterations back. But I mean, that was really constructive stuff.
Shauna.
Okay, Shauna.
I do agree. I like bringing the coin into it since the coin was specifically designed with this in mind. But being that we can't transfer that onto a lot of media, if you go to number 3, like we had talked about, enhancing one of those images of the leaves, I think that would be very helpful on that. But I do like the words around the coin incorporated in it too for consistency, since we've done the coin especially for this.
Thank you. Well, I love that everyone's voiced their opinion and feels comfortable with that dialogue, and all good. How would
There's
you
no
like,
secret voting here.
so and you can tell me, I'm sensing that you'd like us to still vote, but write in our comments.
Yeah, I took notes as well, but I think if you're comfortable with now kind of marking after the conversation, which one would need notes, because we'll summarize what came away from this meeting. There's another one tomorrow, and then that's going to be the feedback going back to the event committee and to Hemisphere.
Yeah. and
What's
we're
that other
hoping-
feedback? So there's multiple groups giving.
It's not it's the executive leadership team that the city manager wants to talk to, because a lot of them have, say a lot of, that participated in prior.
Yeah. Okay, very cool.
Anniversaries and designs.
Very cool.
One last thing, if anyone's leaning towards option 3, I think the very first one that has a high contrast with the leaves and the numbers, okay, is going to be easily reproducible no matter what color palette you choose. I was just kind of looking at the color palette. So if you, at any point you decided to swap out that kind of battleship gray for any of those other colors, it's going to pop. You're going to get kind of lost with the other 3. So if anyone's leaning towards option 3, I would kind of push you towards recommending the first one.
And Daryl teaches graphic design at Silver Park, so. We'll also the same.
The last thing is, on page 4, the city's very intentional with typography and where the city's name is used, or the city of Lakewood's used and Lakewood's used, it has to be that particular typeface. And so we have to be mindful of that also. If that's going to be included around the logo design, whether it's 30-year commemorative or moving forward, right? You got to consider that too.
Yeah.
But you probably already know that.
And the other information on that one that I heard in option 3 is that year is too big, the 30 feet for itself, and that the dates are needed somewhere on there too. Or are you thinking the dates are still needed even though it says 30, the 1996 to 2026?
I think so.
Probably.
Could you see something without the dates too? I mean, just if it overcomplicates it, maybe let them know it's an option to not put the range on there.
Yeah, definitely. But I didn't hear any enthusiasm for option 1. But really good feedback on the 2, 3, and 4, the options. So really appreciate that. Yeah, if anybody wrote anything on your slip that you want to provide, that's great. I think we'll summarize the notes too and get them origin that he's on. And it's helpful when you, I think my notes now I can get back to you, and then when you're sending out the minutes or whatever to the group, that'll be like, if I missed something, like, hey, see this one. That'd be good. Awesome again, and thank you for.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is really
extra
important.
time, and it was great to meet all of you. Yeah, absolutely. Good to have your fingerprints on it.
Guess we'll know at our next meeting. What has been
But
decided.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Any trash with me.
Which leads me to our next, so, I'll plug these in for him too, that's
Yes,
what you're thinking,
yeah.
okay, awesome. Okay, does everyone have a pen and can fill out their form? And then those on, online, can you please email me your vote and your comments?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so this is so important. Really what we're gonna concentrate on now for the next 15 minutes, and we're gonna get it done, is a recommendation to City Council for the sculpture at the roundabout of Gravelly Lake and Nyanza. So thank you for those who worked on this with me to get it to where it is now. I thought I'd read through it, and the goal is to have this really fine-tuned and ready to go. So the mayor and city council added to the Arts Commission work plan to make a recommendation for the sculpture at the roundabout. And so what we would do after this meeting is create a memo, and then it would be presented to them, this recommendation. So it would be for 2027. It would not be for this year. So it's saying that the Arts Commission recommends a sculpture, and that the budget would be on the low end, 125,000, on the high end, 185,000. Let's stop there. What is that sounding accurate to you?
Is that enough?
Especially
125,000.
to 100, and the low end is 185 on the high end. And I don't know, and this is all in, this is, road closure, this is.
Oh, this is everything.
Oh, this is everything.
This is not just the art.
No,
No,
that's
that's
not,
not enough.
it's not enough. No.
I thought if you were just talking art, I
You
could see.
you could,
Good, but I didn't know it was all that other stuff. That's why I
Yes.
look at you,
yeah,
who's done this multiple times. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to know if that was something that.
yeah, we need.
Well, we had one artist that threw his hat in the ring, and he quoted 125 for
He did.
everything. Even
He did, but I think that was a little bit
I get that.
unrealistic.
This is gonna be the Arts Commission's crown.
Yes, it's going to be
So-
lovely.
Let's go for it.
What would be a low end? What would be a low end number? That we don't want to go below.
That you don't
And
wanna
this is
go
just being
below.
realistic, that we think, because whatever we recommend, then, yes, yeah.
For some context, Karsten Boyson's sculpture right there at Gravelly Lake in
Washington.
Washington Boulevard. What was the price range for that?
100 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Okay, so it really doesn't have any reference to what we want to do then.
Well, and then don't forget about like all of our costs for like road stuff or
Roads,
all that
yes.
kind of stuff has gone up like crazy.
Yeah.
Very
Like,
helpful. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the lessons we learned from that sculpture. that we could-
Now, what do you mean by like road stuff? Because it's going to, everything with it, it's already gonna be completed, so.
I don't know what, it might be electrical stuff and maybe they need, I
Well,
mean.
the
it was
electrical stuff's
it's-
already being,
it's there.
it's already
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
and so is water.
And
You know, no,
water.
we're not,
So it's,
we're not recommending a water feature, the water
But,
feature
yeah,
would be there in
For
case land is
install,
there.
we just,
Install.
for install, we just
For
need road
install.
closure,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I'm getting verification if we need police, but,
Now,
Originally, they had said, no, you would need police, you just have to get the barricades up.
Yeah.
now I don't think 125,000 would include, in his bid, would include a foundation.
Well, that was what I
That's
was.
what I- yeah,
thinking,
I-
yes.
But I was saying installation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't think that would include like concrete foundation.
And you
No, I
guys won't
mean-
know that until you know.
This
what
is
to
right.
call.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
You
so.
probably have the best.
Wait a minute, I just noted down, I would say the low end 175,000, high end 250.
Then could you
Just-
come back and be like, look at how much money we saved? You know what I mean?
Well, I like this logic. Let's go up then.
You know, and I mean, I want you guys to be realistic, because like I said, I think this needs to be fabulous. And I think
Yes.
that's the expectation, so let's be realistic on what you put in there.
Right, and what has happened last year?
How much did the Colonial Plaza, sculpture cost?
That was 150.
Yeah.
150?
Yeah, I think you should list.
Yes.
Other things, like maybe pull out, say, hey, structural or something, so then if people were to see something on here, you know. But they
Those
wouldn't just
Yeah,
think
and
it
then
was
our
just
group
the
had to
art.
put in.
You know,
Well, yeah,
that was a lot of materials with the Colonial Plaza art and then installation, but I don't know if the foundation, because the
Yeah,
foundation
they
was
need to
already
do-
there.
they had to do something.
They
I don't
had
think
to-
that was-
they had to
I
do
don't think that was in that price though,
Yeah.
because
But,
it wasn't gonna be on a foundation and then they figured
That
out
they had to.
do.
They had to put,
Yeah.
something like that happened with the foundation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was part of the 150, it's like you're saying. I
Right.
think,
I don't think it
I don't think
was.
it
yeah,
was.
I think it was something that was,
Sort of
added
folded
on.
in there.
Because every foundation, depending on what the artwork
You're not
is
gonna
gonna.
know. Yeah. Until you guys decide, where you're not gonna know, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think putting enough in there is to make sure you're
Yeah.
covered.
Are we gonna look at some past sculptures that were brought to us?
We'll get there. Yeah. So, okay, so we've got 175 to 250,000. We may need to do a breakdown of what we think that would entail, like
Yeah, we would.
design concepts, X amount. That's what I was hoping to get fleshed out before this meeting, but
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think if you put that out there, people would, the council or everybody would think that that's the cost for just the piece of art.
Exactly.
If you
Okay.
break down everything and they'd be like, oh, okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's more realistic.
okay. All right. So then the funding option. So one is that we save, the Arts Commission saves $25,000 a year for however many years it would take to get to 175,000. So 6 years
Not doing anything.
of not doing anything. Which would require non-implementing any other
No,
public art
I
for
think-
6 years.
We've got such good momentum.
yeah.
To go
exactly.
silent would be very detrimental to us.
Yeah.
You'd lose your
I
committee. Yes.
mean, honestly, why would,
Why would you need it?
why would, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and then the city council makes one full-time allocation in 2027-28 budget. Or third, the project is scoped but not advanced until funding through an identified grant or funding campaign with resources identified in 2027-8 to pursue outside funding sources.
I mean, I think option 2 is amazing, but the city has a lot of other things going on as far as monetarily speaking. And so, we're not gonna. Option 2, while that's amazing option, it's probably the less likely option to happen. And I just feel that at one point at a commission, we're gonna have to figure out how to engage the public to raise funds. We're simply gonna have to figure out how to do that. And we either do it now and we figure out how to do that, or we don't do it. And then we defer it onto the next project where we're going to figure out how to do it. It's something that we are going to have to face that at one point or another, we're going to have to figure out a way to engage the public and raise funds from the citizens. And there are citizens that want to be involved in this project and they want to donate to this project.
What about if you guys did something like, I don't know, H Barn, like, oh, you know, they have I know they're separate, it's
No,
a
no, no.
501c3, like, part of that, but there is some funding from the city. And then the funding from the H Barn
Exactly.
people that are.
Like a
raising
hybrid.
it. And then there's also asking for grant type money. So that's what's happening there. It seems like maybe something like this could possibly, I don't know.
I just feel that
That's
there's no
option
reason.
3 to me.
Yeah, I feel that there's no reason not to try to engage the public and see what their potential is to actually, to actually gather funds, from these citizens
Could
too.
you say you would use those funds broader, not just for that one thing? You could say, this is for arts within the city.
Sure.
So I'm just trying to think of ways to attract more people, get more people's interest, because some people would be like, I don't care about that roundabout, but I do care about art throughout the city. I love the utility wraps,
Yeah.
so.
I feel that this is something that like I said before, that these are the mechanics that we need to figure out how to do so we can raise funds for different mural projects, for different other, larger projects on the horizon. And if we don't figure out if we don't get a template and the mechanics down now, we're just going to be deferring it to some other project.
Well, the basic structure of what you would need to do for a capital campaign like this is you have to get 2/3 of the money from private donors first, and then you do invite the public in to finish it off for you. And then everybody's happy because it's completed.
Okay,
But you
so what
need
I'm
that
gonna do in the
donor.
interest of time, I love this conversation. It's so important. In the interest of time and getting this done, I think it's still these 3 options, because if it's 3, what I added in 3 is I added a last sentence that says and or outside funding sources in conjunction
Yes.
with city funding.
Yeah.
Then, so that covers everything, including fundraising, because if they choose number 3, then we'll spend a year
Figuring out how we're gonna do it.
Yes.
But
But I
love
want to
it-ended, I like that.
You're trying to get into the budget cycle this year, right? Is that?
No, it's for 27,
Oh,
28.
okay.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
agree with you, Earl, that there are people who would step up for this.
There
Yeah, and that's-
are a lot of people that would step up
Yes,
for this.
yeah.
And it's not gonna be the only time that we're gonna try to have to go this avenue,
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
I think it's really good timing. I think that this document will kind of get things rolling, and we can put that on our work plan.
And we have a lot of momentum behind it.
Yes,
And now,
but
Mr. Whalen had said that the Parks Commission does have a 501c3 already established, that we might, like, he had said that people might be able to donate, to that as far as giving funds to it. So that is true, correct?
I don't know, but we will,
Okay.
I will go down that whole fundraising thing if they choose number 3.
She called this
Sure.
the right thing. It is. So sad, it's so bad. Just be very, just think it is a whole.
Yeah.
This could be a completely naive question. I apologize ahead of time if it is. This wouldn't come under the purview of a levy. Would it? People could vote on and say, okay, I'm willing to,
You can put out a bond.
Could you do that?
I mean, but
that's something
it's
we don't want.
really hard.
Is that asking
I
too
think
much of
it's
the public to,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it might
in
be,
this
It might
climate?
they'll
be.
squawk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it's like, that's not important.
Yeah, well, they don't wanna pay for
It's
schools,
art.
so they don't
Yeah,
wanna, pay. They're
yeah,
not
you think
gonna,
they'll
they're
pay
definitely
for
not
art.
gonna pay
That's a
for.
larger conversation, I think.
That's why I brought up.
Good idea.
Interesting idea.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Worthy of mention.
So we're going to move on to the theme. I'm excited, that we can work on the fundraising aspect, but that'll be a whole nother work plan item, and it would fall under number 3 if they choose to go that way. So the theme of the sculpture is a symbolic representation of the city of Lake Lakewood, a city over 30 years old now, having grown from a seed into a mature tree, thriving, grounded in a solid foundation, etc. And this is important. This is the theme that we would say to the artists. The Gary oak tree and acorns is native and iconic to Lakewood and symbolic of the city's growth. Similarly, sculpture should be symbolic of something that is iconic and meaningful to Lakewood. Is that adequate? Is that what we want to recommend to City Council? Okay. Want to make sure everyone online too. Okay, this artist selection protocol, this is very important. Artists who qualify to submit proposals for the sculpture will be hand selected by the Arts Commission. These artists will have been previously vetted by us. This includes artists who've worked with the Arts Commission previously to design and install a sculpture, artists who are finalists and other call to artists that we've had, artists who are vetted because they're on a public roster. Okay, so are we good with that? Because that means we are not doing a call to artists. Okay, we're solid on that. Decision-making process. 5 artists will be selected to opt in or out. Those who opt in will be invited to submit a written description up to 2 sketches, the total estimated cost, completely broken down, material use, measurements, timeline, from start to completion. They'll be invited to present their designs to the Arts Commission. A matrix will be used to score it. The 2 final artists will be recommended to City Council, or if there's a clear standout, that artist will be recommended to City Council. Are we good with that? 80.
Sorry, I have a question from the last one. This is maybe just a question out of ignorance. Is it why would we not open this call up to people who have not previously been vetted?
Does anyone want to answer that? That's been through a call here.
Well, we had that conversation before, and the amount of work of screening is immense. And we felt also a sense of obligation, if you will, to the artists who've already tried so hard and worked so hard for us to put forward proposals, and we want to reward them for that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I was just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, we've had some.
Good question.
Yeah,
Good question.
we've had some really good artists come through,
Yes.
like with Motor Avenue.
Yeah.
And just the nature of that particular project and the budget. And I mean, we've had some really great artists, and ultimately you have to choose one, and you can't choose all 8.
Let's do all 8.
But
That would be
they would be really good. They would be a really good group to at least
Yes.
start with, going back to and seeing if we get something we like.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Agreed.
Good question, 80. Once the artist is selected, the final artist would be paid a stipend to develop a completely fleshed out version, etc. The budget should not exceed, I think we're looking at 250,000 now. The theme, we talked about the theme of the Gary Oak. But, you know, this is important if you want to add anything different. This is the time. If we want to expand that theme to be more about diversity, or actually diverse populations in there. And then, of course, there's the safety component. So I talked to Public Works, and this paragraph includes their stipulations of how wide, tall it can be, how solid, etc. Electricity is in place, and so it can be a lit structure, and talks about the height, width, and the materials should be easy to maintain, clean, durable, and suitable for changing weather patterns and climate. And then the installation, the artist is responsible for securing and paying for all permits and all aspects of installation. The next step on this is to listen to any other comments, fine tune it, and then send that off. The reason I'm doing it at this meeting is we're going to get really busy. Our joint commission meeting with City Council is really early this year. It's going to come upon us so fast. And I'd like to say that we completed this and got it off to them.
Susan, I just have
Yeah.
a question for you. With lighting being a factor, do you think that's
No.
Sorry.
With lighting being a factor,
Hear
do you
back
think
from
that needs to
Jason, but I think
increase the
whatever
price at all?
he's talking about. It'll be positive.
Exactly.
Well, it's always safe to do that.
I just know that lighting seems to be.
Lighting
Really important at the high traffic
Yes,
area. to
and-
get enough trees in there.
and lighting can
If
be
you try and
expensive
put the
too.
email, I wonder if you can
Right.
beat that.
Depending on what the sculpture ends up being, it will have to be lit a certain way.
Yeah,
So Sally,
I'm sure.
Yes.
lighting is pretty expensive, so that may be an added cost.
I think that's gonna be in addition to the sculpture.
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's how-
foundation is in addition, the lighting is in addition,
Not lighting.
the installation.
Yeah. They're usually, well, they're definitely their own line items. so-
Most expensive person.
Yeah, it was like
sculptor
25.
Kind of offering, or in our list of stuff. And do we fall kind of in their range of general sculpture? You know, I'm just trying to like, so
Like
just
the
to say,
Hadag-
yeah, just to say
Hadag
that
and-
we're like,
Okay,
just to
so-
make sure we're not.
So
guessing
I will
too
say,
broad.
Haddad Dragon, they kind of, we talked to them early on, if you'll remember. And they kind of put forward a concept and it was under 250 and it included lighting. You know, the fact is their great stuff is upwards of, 500,000.
Yes, yes,
You just
yes,
can't do
yes,
it. We just are
yes.
gonna have to have a simplified version
Yeah.
of whatever it is.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking.
Well, or they take a look at it and we say, this is our budget, what can you do with that?
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
I think
Yeah.
you should always push to whoever you're telling about this to, that this is our, this is our gateway. This is where we're
Yes.
really focusing. It's gonna be highlighted on everything.
Yeah.
And I'm
We're
gonna
trying
be
to
looking at
create-
it from my house.
And most importantly, Earl has a front row seat.
Which part of Gravely Lake is it?
It's
Nyanza.
Nyanza
Nyanza
and Bradley
Gravely
Lake, the
Nyanza.
last one before you come to the club. park.
So you were the generous donor you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And we do want it to be, but I think it is really important to remember our population and how they react to something really grand,
Exactly.
which is very, can be confrontational and they can feel like, why are you spending this much
Yes.
on art? So while it
That's
is
a
gonna be
definite
like
factor.
We're gonna
a
hear it
really
anyways.
important piece, I think we need to just really keep that in mind. That it needs to be somewhat in consistent with who our population is in terms of how grand it is. Do you know what I mean?
I love the
Yeah.
focus on the tree right now.
Yeah.
How you
Exactly,
guys have
because-
talked about that. I think it's important. I think it speaks to the entirety of Lakewood community. I think it sticks visually too with what you guys have been going with.
And I do feel that a lot of the people that have had some objection to art in the past, they also are people that are very focused on the Gary Oak. And
Yeah,
and
that's a
and
good
so
point.
because they're arguing both
Well, the Gary Oak
sides.
speaks to the history of Lakewood.
Exactly.
And that's what people, a lot of things we hear about preserving and things like that. So I think you're gonna hear pushback.
But I after any kind of concept, I think the Gary Oak is the safest concept and it's most
It is.
beautiful.
It is. It's
And
not-
most appropriate.
It
And
is,
most appropriate.
yes.
Yeah.
Because we're not, it's
Some
not.
abstract thing. It's
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
the abstract.
That's the
Like, what
loaded-
is that?
It's not speaking to one demographic
No.
of Lakewood,
Yes.
it's speaking to all demographics and all the roots. of
Yes.
Lakewood.
I
I
think it needs
totally
to
agree.
probably be clear that it is a Gary Oak something.
Yes.
I don't know, I
people-
like that it's open to being symbolic.
Well,
I really want to know
symbolic,
what these artists come
But
up
if
with.
you're hearing stuff like about the propeller / lotus / like if you're trying to
Yeah, but it's clear. I
appeal
mean,
to everybody.
I think it's clear about the tree, like we're talking tree, roots, acorn, planted,
Yeah.
30 years.
How close can
What can
anyone
you do
get
with
to
that?
it though?
They can't, you can't. go
This
deep enough.
is nothing we want to, we don't want
can
right
drive
where
by.
people are trying to cross, we don't
Drive
want
by.
people on that roundabout, that's
No.
very important.
So it can't be intricate. It has to be
Right.
basic, big.
Yeah, I can see it. Pop through.
But you guys talked tall though, right? A little
Yes,
bit tall?
Yeah.
It can't be more than 25 feet
25 feet.
tall.
Okay, but that's
That's-
taller
that's
than.
tall.
Yeah,
That's
that's
tall,
tall.
yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
base can't be more than 5 feet wide.
5 by 5 and
Yeah.
25 feet tall. As who 80. You're on.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, this is a great conversation. I think I was gonna also say, I think thinking through the public's reaction, I mean, I think we should also anticipate some pushback, not just because it's art, but because of also it's in the area where there's also already a lot of art when we're thinking about like Gravelly Lake having the Lotus sculpture previously and then the sculpture on Motor Avenue, that this half of the city has a lot of kind of these larger sculptures. It also happens to be a wealthier part of town generally. So I think that we also should think about, you know, when we're talking about this and framing this, like, and maybe for ourselves too, like, you know, the emphasis is here because there's construction there, but also how are we balancing that with other locations in the city as well?
and I think you would frame it also as that it's a part of the loop that goes around Gravelly Lake and the connector that connects us to Tillicum, which is not our wealthy area. And so it brings you through and it would get you to the city and it's supposed to be our great connector. So I mean, the way you talk about it that way too is, hey, look at all these things you see along the way. And then, I mean, I think later on, maybe we look at things that are on that pathway between the Golf and Country Club and Tillicum. How could you make that more enjoyable for people to walk in there and finish your connector? So I mean, I think there's ways that you can talk
Do we
about
want to add that in the call? I guess I'm also asking like the possibility of growth for this to be as like one piece in a series, right? If we want to draw this attention to this like corridor of the city, like maybe this vision is like 5 years, 10 years from now, there is a Tillicum piece that like parallels or speaks to this piece in some way.
Yeah, because it's never been a plan. Like, I mean, the Lotus was installed 25 years ago or something.
No,
No.
8 years.
Yeah.
What?
8 years.
So
No,
I
it wasn't 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
No, the Lotus was not installed 8 years ago.
That's
Yeah,
not
you were
right.
there.
Yeah.
There.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
And then it got moved.
Seems like it was moved 8 years ago.
No, just a reminder,
I don't know.
we developed a public art program policy and that had a timeline for implementing
8
signal
years.
boxes and so on. And I believe it was every 6 years. So it's an iconic piece. But it's time to renew that because our 6 years from when we developed that is over. But I think it's more realistic to do it, once every 6 or 7 years versus otherwise the council is gonna be like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
But Amy, those are such really good reflective and insightful points that you're making.
Exactly.
And really important to be thinking about.
I think it's a strong location because if you're coming north from, say, Thurston County and you're coming to the Lakewood Town Center,
Mhm.
take that
It is the
exit from
gateway.
right-
Yeah.
that is quite an attraction.
Yes.
So.
And that intersection's always been so blah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it actually just became something different. 'Cause it's always just been so standard. So, yeah. 8 years. It's,
So funny.
wow.
Just gonna keep saying
It's
that.
like, they're like, "Days."
This is such an important dialogue. This is a big project. Anything else before I finalize it? Okay, we also had on our agenda the top 7 signal boxes, and we can just show you those visually super quick. I'm sure we're gonna need more, and the follow-up to that will be that Cullis and I will meet and just start, and whoever else wants to, and just start, putting it together like puzzle pieces.
Yay.
Yay, I know. And they're all measured. All the templates have been created and all the boxes are measured.
I love the single boxes. People just love them.
I know. Me too.
Oh, I love the back of the quilt. I haven't even looked at that.
Yeah, so there's handprints.
You can see
on
the
it.
handprints
Wow.
better.
Very cool.
This is so cool, lady. I'm so glad you came up with that idea. I love it.
Oh, wow, that's so cute.
Oh, that's great.
And so AD collected the names. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about that, AD, but AD just took the ball and ran with it, wrote all these down, collected all the names. Nikki's got a swear.
I mean, I guess I could say it was just a really great, I really appreciate it. It was a fun project to do and it was fun to work with the community in this way where whoever stopped by got to put a square together. And so it was a way for folks to kind of participate in art making in a way, whether they had experience or not. And so I think it was fun to invite people into that space, into a creative space, and to kind of honor their voice and their vision in that way. So I think I was excited to work on a project that had kind of this level of, I don't know, welcoming of the community, for folks who, maybe don't have a chance or to make things regularly or don't see that as worthwhile. So it's also, I think, really special to have this in City Hall. So as kind of a way of honoring the people who made this project to come together, So it was a really great project. So thanks for the support, Sally, and everybody. And it was really fun.
It's definitely a highlight for us, Adie. Thank you so much.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the top 7 artists. And we'll just keep going and we'll do it kind of quick. This is the first choice, which is Girls Dance. We'll just keep going through. Second choice, Tides of Washington, and also The Nature of Diversity. Third choice is The Loyal Gaze. And Swimming Together, Stronger Still. And fourth choice is Kids in the Rain.
No.
Fifth choice is Puff and Pout.
6.
Wow. Morning Companion. These are all fifth choice. There were several. 6 is K Defenders is 6th choice. Also Wings Above the Pacific. Also Leap of the Salmon. Also Coastal Passage from Silicon to Lakewood. And A Warm Page. And Purity and Vintage Hues. And 7th choice was our neighbor Lakewood City. And The Lake's Gentle Guess. And Twilight Stillness. Symphony by the Lake Shore. Be inspiring. And K-pop, Cock-a-doodle Pop. That's 8th choice. And if you could go back up one. So the last thing I want to say is that we have got to live with these for many, many years. And it shouldn't be anything that is like, well, I can't think of anything bad. Like, we've got to love these. We've got to believe in them. And this is our final meeting where we're saying, yes, it's a go. My one worry with this is when I stand back from my computer and look at it, I just can't make out anything but the flowers. And if we select it, do we want the person to try to redesign it to make the wording bigger or something to make it more clear what it is? Or is that just me?
Well, do we even have to vote on it? I mean, because I think like we're trying to do 6 boxes, right? And the 5th choice had like 5 or 8 in it. And like we maybe
I'm
have to.
assuming we're gonna need several per box is what I'm assuming, just because of their shape, and maybe not, but I think on several, I think we may need up to 15 of these.
So are we still voting or are these the selected?
These are the final ones, so these will get used.
Okay.
But my worry with this particular one is, you certainly won't be able to read it. Do we want that person to redesign it where you could actually see you can't see the bees? Like, I don't know, when I saw it on my computer, if you're in any type of distance, you can't make out what it is. And these are our boxes. We want them to look amazing.
And it's a cute message too.
And it's a cute message.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe Kellis could work with the artist to
Well, when it's blown up, isn't it? It's gonna be much bigger than this.
It will, but my worry is it still won't be big enough.
I mean, is this high enough up on the list that it's actually going to make it on a box?
I think so.
Oh, okay. So we're going to use everything.
I think so. Because some just are not shaped such that they can fit on all sides. I could be wrong. But I think we're gonna have different pieces on, and that's what Kellis and I would do. We'd kind of sit down and go, okay, what 3 pieces can go together for this?
Do you want to go through all of those? I mean, I don't know how many we're in groups 1 through 6, but there's a lot of art pieces that you went through there.
That's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe there's enough
Yeah,
content there that
maybe we worry about it when we get to that.
yeah, that
Okay.
we're not even to it
That's a good
here.
point. That's a good point.
Shauna has some.
Shauna,
I was just thinking, depending on placement of the box, if this was one box that needed multiple things to cover it, if there was a walking path or something that we could adjust this side to, I think
Yeah,
that would be
that's a
helpful
good point.
if it's
Yeah.
not pointed towards the road.
Yeah.
Like pointing.
Do you want to note that, Nikki, that this number 102 would be on a walking path? Yeah, and then that's a good point. I think we'll just get started and then we can worry about that later.
Yeah, and Shauna's idea is great. I mean, a
Yeah,
couple of those
it's perfect.
boxes are right there on.
Yeah.
Especially the one
That
that
walking
kitty
path.
corner from Port Silicon Park right there.
Mhm.
You know, that one's like really close too. That's a very high pedestrian area.
Okay, wonderful.
It's great.
So Kellis, I'll be working with you. That's next. And I just wanted to say that we had a wonderful MLK Beloved Community Art reception. Thank you for coming.
Sorry, I couldn't make it.
And that's fine. We got a great photo. It did a follow-up post on social media for the artists, and they were really happy. They all got up and spoke, and I was really inspired and touched by what they had to say. And then our next, the Korean Women's Artists Association, Kellis, you're involved with that, right? Is going to be showing, and the reception's April
Yes.
20th.
We're ready.
Cool.
Okay.
It's great.
And I'll work with you too to get
Um,
information in early to our communication.
can
the-
I think we're gonna invite it to the Korean Council as well at the reception. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
meeting.